I remember our first month in the business, we got an $8 bonus check for our first full month, and I really didn't even know how we earned it. I wasn't helping, you know. And our second month in the business, it was $16. It doubled. Brett was so excited. And, you know, about $16, I said, you know what, Brett, I'll get another job rather than build this business. If it means $16 makes you so happy, you know. But Brett could see what the business was doing and where it was going. And our third month in the business, it was $111. And, you know, it wouldn't pay all our bills, but it could help. And then our fourth month in the business, we made $545 in the business. And I thought for a second, you know, my gosh, I don't remember doing anything, stealing from anybody or cheating them or being ignorant or anything like that in order for us to earn these bonuses. In our fifth month in this business, we earned over $3,300 in 1 month. And from that day on, I've never worked outside the home again. I got my freedom because of this business, because of what it gave us. The money was coming in. It can happen in a short time. It doesn't have to be over, you know, 20 years that you're going to be diamonds. It can happen a lot quicker. We went direct in 5 months. You have to believe. I just want to move on. I know I could go, I told you our story is real long, but I remember distinctly Brett saying, well, Fred said we need to do this, and Fred said we need to do that, and Brett was so on track. He was going to do whatever it took, and whatever Fred said, he was going to do it, beyond the shadow of a doubt. And that's where my pride got a little hurt, and I thought, Fred, why is it that you'll do change something for Fred? And I've asked you over the last couple years, and you never did it for me. And he says, well, Fred said, and I said, you know, Brett, I said, why don't you just marry Fred? You know, I mean, but honestly and truly, it was only Fred that could make Brett change. Fred became Brett's hero. Fred did all the things that I've so wanted Brett to do, change things about his personality, soften his rough edges. And, you know, as Brett was changing, for a minute I thought, you know, he might change beyond what I'm changing. You know, I was struggling. I didn't want to. And yet Brett kept changing. With or without me, he was determined we were going to do it. And it scared me because I thought I wanted to live my life with Brett. And so in order to change, I had to change too. And I'll tell you, it was the books that really made me think differently. I remember Brett putting books everywhere, the same book all over the house, because I hated to read. And Fred and Linda kept telling him, she's got to read some books, she's got to read. And so they put them everywhere, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, on the dining room table. And I thought, what is it with these people? Why do we need more than one copy? But one night I was bored. I got tired of watching the TV, and I picked up this book. And to me, it made a tremendous amount of difference. For once in my life, it was a book that I was interested in. It wasn't a school book. It wasn't about history or geography or science. It was about life, and it was talking to me. And so you all need to realize that even though you are so smart and so wise about the business, because of all the venues that go on and all the leadership that you do have, you're still never too smart to not pick up a book. You all need to be reading a good book all the time. As we built the business, our marriage grew. You know, we would drive miles, hundreds of miles, to show the plan to people that we weren't even sure, obviously, whether they'd get in or what their interest level was in the business. We just went wherever there were people. You know, where there was somebody breathing, we decided to go. And we had a little Subaru, and it was so, oh mercy, it was junk. You know, it was so rusted, and the muffler had a hole in it. And if you've ever had a hole in your muffler, I don't even know if that's what you all call them, but it makes a loud noise everywhere you go. And the door on Brett's side, it hung. It didn't close all the way. You know, we couldn't afford anything more than that, but you know what happened? We got in that car and we believed we had an opportunity that we wanted to go share with people, and it didn't matter what we drove, we were going to do better. We were going to get better, but until we went out there and did it in spite of our broken down car, you know, that was the first step. Going out and doing it. Don't think about what you don't have. Think about what you will get. And, you know, we were in that car listening to tapes and finally, for once in our life, setting goals, things that were believable. And so our marriage grew and grew. And I'll be honest with you folks today, of all the things that we've gotten, the things and the friendships and everything, I think the thing that we're most proudest of is our relationship to each other. Brett and Fran, our marriage today. Because it's always been true that, you know, one beside one is not two. One beside one is 11. And when you work together as a team and work and strive to better your relationship, nobody can shake your tree. Nobody's going to rock your boat. You are on the same team and you know where you're going, and that's what you have to work at, because it doesn't matter what stands in your way. Together you can overcome it. And so you can't do enough to better your relationship as a husband and wife. And like I said today, that's what we're most proudest of. But along the way to Diamond, we've had our ups and downs. You know, Brett was blowing out people who got kits. They said they were interested. They wanted to do something, you know, and here they weren't following the system, and Brett was still rough, and he'd blow them out. We'd lose 15 people in 1 week because of what Brett did to them, you know. But it was a process that we had to go through, you know? And I mean, they probably weren't worth staying in anyway. These were people who would show up at meetings without socks on, you know? I mean, people who maybe you wouldn't be attracted to or want in your business, but nevertheless, you know, it didn't matter what came our way. When we knew that Fred and Linda were behind us, and when we knew what all Fred and Linda had done for us, how they motivated our group, how they built the dream with our group and for Brett and I, to get us to believe that someday we could have those things that we wanted, a lifestyle, freedom to be independently financially free, to owe no man nothing, to be able to stand up proud and know that you own everything that you possess and that nobody can fire you. That was what we wanted so bad, and that is what Fred and Linda knew that we could do, and we just pressed on. And so no matter what you're going through, you need to know that that can happen for you. We've been to Hawaii. We have the nice things. We have a wonderful lifestyle. But that's not what motivates us to go on in this business anymore. It's people like you at the 9% and at the lower percents that have that very same hunger that Brett and I feel a responsibility to help, like Fred and Linda helped us. And you all are capable of being tremendous leaders because of the leadership that you have. You have tremendous examples of true winners in life, and there's no excuse why you couldn't be that too. See, Brett and I, we have come from so little to so much, and there's so much in between that I wish I could share it with you all. But if there's anything that I want to share most with you is that you will need to have a passion about this business. You will have to let people know where you stand and why it's important to you and why you have a vision of the things that you want in life. You're gonna, you know, your excitement will be contagious, but you have to be excited. You have to know what you're in. You know, it's your passion and your commitment that people will be attracted to you. So don't be afraid. Have the courage to share it. Know that you have a hold of something so great. And one day, you'll stand up here with your leadership, and people will look at you and shiver and think, one day, could it be us? And then you'll realize that it could be anyone. When you really finally make it up here, that it could be anyone, because all of our stories are so unique and so special. And you will have your downs, but a winner gets up one more time than they've been down. And you all have that responsibility. Ignore the challenges and press on. Keep your blinders on, focus, because what we live today is so special, and I can't really put it into words. I've tried to some degree, but trust me, you all can be diamonds. Will this be Go Diamond Arena next year? I believe it, and you need to believe it. You need to believe it. You need to know that going direct is a piece of cake. It's easier than you think it is. And so I'm done sharing with y'all tonight, and I know Brett's gonna make you laugh and cry, and so y'all are special, and know that. And there's a great deal of people who care about you and want to see you succeed. I just hope you want it as bad as they want it for you. And with that, you could go and accomplish anything you set your mind to. So we love you, and here's my sweetheart. Here's Brett.
Very good. Fired up. I heard Fran say, how many of y'all believe this will be Go Diamond next year? You didn't even answer like that the first time. Thank you. I didn't hear the belief. You see, we're going to tell the rest of our story, but we're going to talk about belief. Because you know the difference stands between you where you are tonight and being a diamond is belief. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. You got to get to the point where you believe it, and you believe it. And end of the story. I want to take you back just a little ways. You know, I show the plan to people, and they whine and tell me about their problems. I tell them, shut up. I don't want to hear it. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. My parents have 12 kids. They have 6 boys, 6 girls. My dad was a lineman for the lake company. My mom obviously couldn't work outside the home, so we had a blue-collar income, and that was it. And my parents' religion did not allow for us to go in debt, not for a penny. Until we could pay cash for a home, we rented. And in 1972, my parents paid $25,000 cash for a home, which if you double the cost of living every 10 years, that would be about a $175,000 house today with 10 children. My mom never worked, and my dad worked for the lake company. We didn't buy anything extra. And so that was just sort of the way we grew up. We went to church, we worked, and that was it. We didn't see many other people. We didn't leave the farm very often. But you know, I'm very grateful that my parents did not accept excuses from us. I believe that's the reason why, in spite of all the problems that I had, that we're diamonds today. Because we don't take excuses from ourselves, and so therefore we don't take them from other people. You know, when you take excuses from you, you got to take them from other people. So, let's just get right down to it. You know, when I was in first grade, I had a little bit of a problem. I was diagnosed as being mentally retarded. And my teachers convinced my parents that I was not capable of learning. Now, today I can look back on it and it's funny. But when you're in first grade and all of a sudden you're diagnosed as not being able to learn, they didn't even want to put me in special education. They want to yank me out of school altogether for another year. And I remember my dad sitting me on his lap and he said, son, these people think you're stupid, but I don't. I believe you can perform and you're going to, or I'm going to tune your little butt up. You understand me? Now, what if I really was retarded? Big problem. Child abuser right there. But he knew. He looked in my eyes and looked down to my soul, and he knew I was capable of learning. Just because the rest of the world thought I was stupid, my parents didn't, and thank God they didn't. Because let me tell you something. My parents could have probably got money from the federal government to finish raising me because I would have fallen into a certain category. You know what my dad said? He is as normal as any other child, and he is going to learn, or I'm going to make him learn. But one way or the other, he's going to learn. He is not stupid, and he refused to accept everybody's input as to my ability or lack thereof to learn. Now that may not sound that significant to you, but if my parents bought into the fact that I couldn't learn and everybody around me quit expecting me to perform, I would have probably not performed. Do you understand that? Thank God my parents didn't buy into that nonsense. Now, there's probably a chance that I had a learning disability. I was probably dyslexic, but since we didn't go to medical doctors, the chance of us going to a psychiatrist was really out of the question. And anyhow, my dad's one sister was a psychiatrist, and she would come to the house every now and then, even though we didn't believe in it, but she would come. She had a little briefcase with a bell and them little stick pretzels in it. I guess for stupid people, she'd ring the bell and say, "What are you thinking right now? This ain't nice." You know what I was thinking? I'm going to take that bell and take them pretzels. That's what I was thinking. You better quit ringing that bell. But, you know, all of a sudden one day, everybody in my whole world, like today they diagnosed me as not being able to learn, and tomorrow everybody in my world said, "How many fingers I got up?" Now I remember asking my dad, "What's with these people?"